Today is a special day in Safat el-Kamar, 30 kilometres south of Cairo. Yasser is finally getting access to drinking water. A farmer and father of 5, he's glad to be leaving behind the risks of unsafe water.
It comes from underground streams. It's unsanitary and it's not safe. There's sand in it, and it's bad for children and people.
Yasser had little option but to drink untreated water drawn from this illegal pump. UNICEF, the UN Fund for Children, gave him a loan of $130, which he has to pay back within 2 years. From now on, he'll be able to drink safe water and drink it legally.
The fines can be up to 5,000 or 6,000 Egyptian pounds. I'm poor, so I wouldn't even be able to pay 4,000.
The waters of the Nile, a symbol of prosperity in Egypt since ancient times, are no longer enough to support the needs of a growing population. Even more so since Ethiopia has built the gigantic Renaissance Dam upstream, allowing it, as of this year, to regulate the river's flow. 98% of the country's 109 million inhabitants, like Yasser, are directly dependent on the river. 500 kilometres further north are the fertile lands of the Nile Delta, Egypt's breadbasket. Since time immemorial, they've used the Nile's waters to irrigate the fields here.
So you see the water comes from here and it leaves over there.
Mohammed grows rice and needs to flood his land. Since agriculture accounts for 80% of the consumption of drinkable water in Egypt, the government has imposed stricter controls on the use of resources.
We have 3 or 4 days of water and 2 or 3 dry days. During the 3 days of water, the field is completely flooded. During the dry days, there's a bit of water for those who want to add a bit. Water is still available. It's not a problem.
But the system of rotation doesn't suit everyone. Further north, where the land is less rich, Sobi's family has been growing jute for generations. It too is a crop that needs plenty of water, but he is at the back of the queue.
I want to irrigate, he wants to irrigate, that guy too. Everyone wants their turn. Okay, but how do we do it? We try to work one after the other. But sometimes the priority is given to rice, which is a priority crop for the state. Jute is also one of the priority crops, but the yields aren't the same, so rice comes first.
For more than 10 years, rising sea levels have led to higher salt content, which is degrading Sobi's lands. He's losing heart.
I was born here, but if there's nothing left, where should I go? I'm going to have to give it all up and leave. It's over. I'm going to have to take my chances elsewhere.
To help farmers, the Egyptian government, with international assistance, has made huge investments in water treatment facilities. The Gabal Asfar plant is the biggest of its kind in all of Africa and the Middle East. Every day, it treats the water used by 12 million people, more than half the population of Cairo.
We use this water for agriculture. Instead of using large amounts of drinking water, we provide farmers with treated water. At the moment, we produce 2.5 million cubic meters per day, and by 2027, we hope to reach 3.5 million.
In a country where social inequality is on the rise, more and more seaside resorts are popping up aimed at the middle classes. Right along the Mediterranean, the entire coastline to the west of Alexandria has been concreted over. But the Nile doesn't reach this far, so people here must use groundwater filtering in from the sea instead. This entrepreneur has installed 20 or so small desalination units in villages along the coast. This one provides drinking water to some 700 homes.
It's very convenient because it's a containerized plant that's getting ready to the place, and just plug and play and you get your water. In this case, we are using deep wells, and the wells is better But in this scale, we cannot assure that it can resolve the problem, but it will make part of solving this problem.
As it faces a future with dwindling water supplies, Egypt will have to explore new ways of protecting this vital resource. Its population could reach 160 million people by 2050, meaning demand will only increase in the coming years.